Hi guys, today we are painting this little girl here. She's Eclair from a project from a friend of mine, a fellow comic artist. Her name is Pocci, and this little cute baby, I don't know much about the story, just that her design is adorable and that she's related to stars. So yeah, two of my most favorite things ever. I start with a color erase pencil. I wanted to create a red undertone to the pictures. As you can see, I'm using a pencil grip because I have no idea why, but whatever I draw without it, I feel horrible pain. Like my hands really hurts, especially at the thumbs. It's really sore after a while. But using this kind of art grip allows me to draw for longer. It's the same as having, I don't, it might be something related to maybe the grip, how much I strangle the pencil. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below if you know what it can be. If it's just like a mental thing, like psychological thing, or if you have the same problem. I don't know. If you have sore thumbs when you draw a lot, I suggest you to buy one of those pencil grips. You will see that I don't usually do the real pencil part of the picture because I tend to be really bored. So I prefer to just directly ink my picture because I think that skipping the penciling part, it helps me to keep my lines fresh because it's like I'm defining them for the first time. So yeah, that's why you probably can't see much of the original sketch, but yeah, you are going to see the real picture showing like here. And I used Copic Multiliner in two colors. They are, I think, burgundy and magenta, or pink and magenta, can't remember right now. And now for the rest of the picture, I've just used colored pencil. Oh, and I use black too because I really like to do big, bold black eyelashes. So the darkest part are actually done with the black multiliner, while the rest is colored pencils. And then I laid the masking fluid. I use Pēbēo masking fluid. I'm not sure if I like it or not. It feels like it takes too much to dry, and I can't really get crisp lines, but that's because I'm using a really shitty brush. And I actually bought a silicone brush to avoid this kind of smudginess and to have cleaner lines. To remove the masking fluid, I've used just a freezing bag so that the oils contained in my skin wouldn't affect the picture. And I've actually learned this trick from Iraville on YouTube. She's really talented and I really love her. Go follow her if you haven't already. And then I proceeded to do the blushes for the sky, and then I started to work on the little baby here for the blush, and pretty much like all of the things that I want to be softer, like so for pretty much every gradient that I'm going to do, be it a shadow or blush or some color fading into another, I tend to do the same thing. I basically place the color with a brush, and then I either dump the same brush on a piece of paper and then try to fade the color into white, or I grab another brush, like a clean brush. It can be dry, but I usually use it damp, and I do what I said before. Basically, the drier brush sucks the excess water and helps me to give a softer look, and I can reshade more gracefully with it. I don't know if this is an actual technique, how is it called, but I just basically, if I want to do something smoother, like more gradiented, like blush and everything, I just use two brushes. One with the pigment, another one is with just really tiny amount of water. And you will see that I keep adding and adding blush until I'm satisfied. But I do the same thing. I add and then I try to blend. Then I did the sweater, which was really fun with the stripes. And I laid the base color, and then I shaded both the colored and the white parts with the same color because it didn't really matter to me. And for the hair, you can see that really pink pastel color that I really love. And to do this kind of color, I actually use the white watercolor, because yes, I'm one of those horrible people who actually use white watercolor. I don't know why. Well, yeah, I know why. It's because it's easier to achieve pastel tints without adding too much water to the paint, and I think that pink is really pretty. And as I said, for the shading of the sweater, I've used the same color for both the white part and the colored part, because it's easier. I think it looks cute. You just have to be careful to pick a shade that is not too dark, basically. Then I added the background stars that are kind of awkward, but I will try to fix them later with pencils. And then I colored in the skin. And as you can see, the blush that I placed underneath is showing and it's subtle, just like I like it. And as you can see, I'm doing the same technique of the two brushes to have that softer shading. And for some reason, I really like to shade faces. They're really cute. And then I started to color in the hair. I went there with watercolor first, trying to use different shades. Like the hair in the back would be darker than the one on the forehead. And I use different kind of colors diluted in a different way. And you will see later that I will add up some color with colored pencils, and I will use both a pink, a reddish pink, and then a purple, just to add more interest. Because if you shade a color with a darker version of the same color, it might be boring. But if you try and go with a cooler shade on a warmer tone, or the other way around, it can be really satisfying. It can create interest. Here I'm adding more dark with the pencil, so you experiment. And sometimes even if you place a color that you would never think it would look good on it, chances are that if you pick the color wisely, it will look good. It's about contrast and making things pop. You will see that the purple really makes the skin stand out more. I even used, I think, a white colored pencil somewhere to just lighten up some areas. And I sometimes, to create shadows, I tend to leave a blob of color when I move the color around with watercolor. I tend to leave the brush where I want the dark area to be, and that helped me a lot. It's slower to work like this because you have to wait for that blob to actually dry. But I think it's a cute effect. And yet again, I really love colored pencils. They were one of my first love. Maybe my first love? No. I think my first love was pencil, like black pencil. But colored pencils, oh my god, I loved it. Always loved. I don't use them that often because I obsess over it and I want to be more carefree. And anyways, after I finished with the pencil, I took my Molotow 127 paint marker in white and I outlined this little girl. And then I even tried to place some really diluted Winsor Newton gold ink on top of the stars, and I regretted it because honestly, when you scan the picture, it just looks brown. Like little stars scanned, they are dotted in brown, and it's horrible. Like in person, it looks nicer. As you have seen at the beginning of the video, it wasn't that bad. It was like shiny, but I regretted it because the really deep yellow was so much more vibrant, and I preferred it without the gold ink. But you know, mistakes happen, so okay. I did it, and I think it's everything. And yeah, we are done with the time lapse. Please remember to thumbs up, comment, or subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you soon in my next video. Bye!